Smart started investigating timber solutions probably, I'm thinking back, over 12 years ago. And we were adding onto a heritage building and the concrete couldn't sustain a heavier structure. So we actually proposed a timber addition for that. Ultimately it wasn't built in timber in that case. But it piqued our interest of what was possible. Now, interestingly, with 25 King, it was designed originally in 2012, just as a typical commercial office building on the fringe of Brisbane, but it didn't get any leasing because it was just competing against others on a cost basis. And then Oricon came in the market in 2016, and together with Lend-Lease we said, well, to attract them into the building, why don't we make the whole building timber? Express its structure, express all its services, visibly express its sustainability. And so we redesigned the building as a timber building. And that's how that came about. And that building now is the largest commercial floor plate in the world, and also the tallest commercial timber building in the world. Psychologically, it's transformative compared to a typical office building. I genuinely believe that people have a biophilic connection with nature, and you go in there and the timber gives you this warmth. You don't feel like you're in an artificial environment, you feel like you're in a half-natural environment. The timber is a natural material. You'll actually see people going up and rubbing columns and the core, just touching it. There's that sense of, I just want to touch. And I don't know if it's about connecting or at some deeper level to nature, or just wanting to touch something warm, but you don't see people just touching steel in that kind of way. There's something really quite fascinating about how people respond. I mean, the other lovely thing about 25 King is we do have a green wall in the lobby on the way in, so you come past timber columns and then you've got a series of green walls that just in a chevron pattern that angle all the green spaces towards the outdoors, and it just sets the mood for people. It's just a great part of the way you enter that building. You start feeling good from the minute you come in the ground floor. So 55 Southbank, I'm not sure how much you know, but it's a commercial office building, and we are building a hotel on the top of it. I think the beauty of using timber there, because it's lighter, is that we didn't have to reinforce the existing structure. So that made it much more cost effective. It's possible with concrete, but you may well have had to reinforce the existing structure. It being a hotel was an ideal project to make out of timber, because the divisions between hotel walls could all be timber planks, and then they're short spans, so it's very easy to use CLT planks for the floor. So it was just a very simple project to make out of timber, and not having to reinforce the structure just helped with that financial feasibility. Look, I think timbers, there's a unique collision at the moment of being able to design and coordinate buildings in 3 dimensions, and then sending CAD files off so that timber can be constructed with high accuracy. The 3-dimensional modelling of buildings and architecture and components, and the factory manufacture of timber fits very well together. And then of course there's a sustainability overlay. The whole industry is trying to gear up towards, well, by 2030 getting to net zero carbon in our buildings, and then hopefully post 2030 being carbon positive. And timber is just a fantastic low carbon material. And then the beautiful thing about timber is it actually continues to sequester carbon even after it's built on site, so it's still sequestering carbon.